We've got another update, guys. 2020.16.2.1 is here. You're all getting it right now. You've probably already seen videos from other channels about it. But what we're going to look at here is what exactly is on this update and how does it affect Autopilot, because that's really what I'm concerned about at this point in my channel. And so, I mean, real quick, here's what is on this update. There's a new Tesla toy box, which just simply means that when you go to toy box, it now makes it simpler to see and understand what all those things are. It's a much big improvement. Before, we always had to go up here to the Tesla sign. Well, I mean, there was other ways of getting to it, but the main way you would go here, you'd pull down and it would appear. That's no longer there, which is great. I hated that. So now it's all in here. And the great thing about it is it actually gives you an explanation for what it is before you click on it, which is great. And you get a toggle for Santa mode, which before I always had a fight with myself trying to figure out how to turn this thing off because I could never remember that. So that's all fixed now. Don't really care that much about that. So let's see what else is next here. We now have nearby superchargers kind of filtering as what I would kind of call it. We could basically say, you know, really slow chargers, fast chargers, super fast chargers. You can filter it by what is available and around you here. One huge part of this is the dash cam improvement where it'll actually now format your USB drive for you. So one of the biggest challenges that I have to help people with all the time is how to actually format your hard drive, creating the right files and format and all that. Well, now the car will do that all for you in here. Right down here, you have a button that says Format USB Device. So if your device is not formatted, you put it in there, press that. It'll erase everything off the flash drive, the zip drive, whatever you're calling it, and make it all ready to go for your Tesla Cam, which is great. So that's a really nice feature now. You don't have to worry about plugging in your computer anymore and all that stuff. So that's huge. Thank you, Tesla. And the last thing here is a backgammon improvement. So if you like that kind of game, there's some improvements there. I'll put this up on the screen so you guys can see this for a few minutes and read it. But I don't really play this game. I don't really care about that. Let's go see what's going on with actual Autopilot and the stuff that is actually interesting. Now, Marty had mentioned that he thought maybe the car was doing some kind of auto park thing with the stall that had just lines in it when he was backing into it. So we're going to go confirm or deny that. We're going to take a look at different Autopilot auto steer, see how that's working, because I've heard from other people on the comments there were some massive improvements there, which that's awesome. I am always all about the Autopilot stuff. All these little other things are really cool, but really on this channel I focus on Autopilot and its improvements as we get to full self-drive. So let's go check those out and see where we are at in that process. Let's do it. All right, now so we're pulling into Safeway parking lot. We got all kinds of open stalls here. What I'm looking for now is a P sign to pop up on my screen anywhere. I'm not seeing anything there. Let's back up here into a stall and see if we see anything. Look at me driving like James Bond. Drive past this one. We see the stop show up there, the arrows, nothing there. I'm going to assume that the parking into a spot, let's try backing up real quick actually. Okay, I'm not seeing any stalls here showing up on the screen for auto park. Okay, so I don't think that is there now. All right, here next, let's go into the parking lot here and see if we can't find somebody walking to see if there's any improvements visually on that. I heard that they do show people actually moving instead of just appearing on the screen. Of course, it's raining out, so it's gonna be hard to find people. Here's a fella unloading his cart. Let's go by him slowly and creep him out. Okay, nothing showed up there. Okay, so here's someone walking in front right now who has a cart. Oh yeah, look at that. They're actually walking. Perfect. Look at that. Yeah! So everyone looks the same on the screen. Obviously. What's the guy thinking? They're gonna be male and female. Look at that person walk. Okay, nice even gant. You got a very nice strut, lady. Crosswalks still don't show up. Not that I'm expecting them to. Now let's try out some Autopilot and see how well the Autopilot works. Put it in Autopilot here. We've got it set to 40 miles an hour. So now this truck beside me wants to... What a joke. To think that he could actually... Do you think that he could actually give me a run for the money? You know, people are such jerks nowadays. Like, what's up with that? Like, you're gonna hover right beside me knowing I gotta get over? Like, you're crazy. Yeah, I know I'm speeding. All right, so next up, we're at our infamous intersection that we constantly test out Autopilot on here to see how well it could... yeah, see, look at that. The last two updates, we've nailed the intersection perfectly, straight through, no swerving, no going crazy, no jumping over lines. Loving it. Let's get on the freeway. All right, now what I'm looking for here on this on-ramp is, do we actually get to use a blinker while we're merging onto this highway? This is something that I've always had a pet peeve with, that I've almost thought they've fixed a few different times, but they never seem to. And the law says use a blinker when you're merging. So we're gonna see, does it do it here? No, it does not. We're gonna treat this thing just like a wide lane that just sort of narrowed. So that is a Next up, let's put it in navigate on autopilot, again, meaning that the car is going to change lanes for me. Here goes our very first one. Let's see if we notice any kind of improvements or changes there. What I'm really looking for here is just smooth around cars back and forth when we're in the fast lane, getting back out of the fast lane right away. That's what I'm looking for. So right now, what we should be seeing is us getting back out of the fast lane into the slow lane, because that car in the slow lane is actually gaining distance. There we go. It's automatically now putting us back over into that slow lane, which is perfection. So where I'm going to go right now, you guys, I'm going to go out to, oh, by the way, there's a great example again of us swerving into the big wide on-ramp. Still hate that. Man, I wish Tesla would fix that. But we're going to head back up to this really swervy road that you've seen me do a couple different times. A great place to test autopilot. It's going to be low visibility because it's now getting to be quite later on in the day. Maybe it doesn't seem that way in the camera, but it'll be a great way to test out how well they have fixed some of the auto steer, which I keep hearing improvements about. Going on a straight freeway like this doesn't tell us anything. So we're going to get out there and try that out. Also, I want to thank you guys who each time take the opportunity to hit that like button for me. And leave a comment. And here's why those things are important. It doesn't do much for me in terms of my ego. I mean, I appreciate it, but what it does is it tells the YouTube algorithm that this video is doing something for people, and it sends it out to a lot more places, makes it more discoverable. So the more likes and comments you guys leave, it makes this video more discoverable for other people to actually get the help and find the information that they're looking for. So please make sure to take a second, hit that like, leave a comment. Even that comment is just hi, anything helps. So appreciate that. Also, if you want to see more of these videos, you guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel, because we're just getting into the beginning of the Tesla series. We just released number 10, and we have a lot more to come. If you're trying to learn, if you're a new person to the Tesla, or even a veteran who's trying to get used to all the stuff that the actual Tesla can do now, this is the place to find it. I'm going to keep very detailed small videos, as you guys have seen so far. So this guy cutting in front of me here, you can see the car is going to slow down to keep that space I have set in front of them. By the way, if you want to know how to adjust that space, it's right here in the steering wheel. You just move this either on this side to the right or to the left. I have it on 4 car lengths right here, but if I wanted to move it closer, I'd pull the wheel right here to the right. That makes it 3 car lengths. Now you see this cop up here, sitting up here. The car does not know that's a cop, unfortunately. Let's see if this new update has radar sensors built into it. Do we see a police officer? No. Okay, that means we can't speed, guys. All right, now check this out. This car over here is merging. Now notice how it makes it a dark gray. That picked that up when it was parallel to me, and the car slowed down. I have my max set at 65. It slowed down to let this car in, which is just really great how well it is at picking up stuff like that. Now, if this car does not accelerate, what you're gonna see happen is the car is gonna pass him, but he is accelerating. We're gonna get up to our max speed, and it's not gonna be a problem. But I love watching how Tesla with each update responds to people coming into your lane and leaving your lane. And it seems like for a while it got worse, and then the last 3 updates it's just been smoother and smoother and smoother. And that goes for everything in terms of even just braking and accelerating from a stop to a car cutting in your lane to making lane changes to on ramps, off ramps. It's just, guys, we've had some really good improvements lately. Let me know if you guys agree with that down in the comments below. I'd love to know what your opinions are, because it seems like not everyone is created equally. Not every update is equal. Not every car is equal. Sometimes people say, I got a great thing that happened. Other people are like, that isn't happening for me. So I'd be curious to see. Now let's just see if we see this car on the side of the road here. That'd be interesting. No. Okay, but it did see that you did see the bumper show up. The sensor saw it, right? That's what I was talking about earlier, is that the sensor did see it. It just didn't paint the picture of it on the screen, which is fine for me. All right, so real quick, let me show you what's coming up here. Let me put it on autopilot. This is what we got going on. See all these windy roads through there? That's what we're gonna be testing out autopilot on. And what I wanna see is the car mostly staying right in the center of the lane, maybe hugging the inside lane a little bit on corners, because that's what's natural. So when you come out of the corner, you don't swing too far. But let's just see what exactly is going on here. So here's our first sharp corner coming up. Let's see how well the car does. My left hand is on the lower right of the steering wheel. Let's see how well it stays in the lane. All I wanna see is the car do is not touch that blue line, and right there it was a perfect success. No problem whatsoever. By the way, you saw I just tried to speed up the car because I hate going 40 miles an hour, the speed limit on here, but I can't do it because there's no barrier between oncoming and going traffic. And if there was a barrier between the two lanes, I would be able to. So when I do accelerate here, what you're going to see is because I myself am pressing on the accelerator. It's not going to turn off autopilot. It's not going to change any of the autopilot settings. It's just that I am telling it to go faster. The car is not doing it on its own. Okay, so here's another corner coming up. It is really nice and steep here. I'm going to put us at 5 miles an hour over the speed limit because this is in the future once Elon releases this, what we're going to be actually driving at, not 40. And look at that. Look at how well it hugs it. Nice and perfect in the center. Now here comes an S turn. Look at this ahead. S turn. Let's see how well it does it. I'm going to give it a little bit more speed, a little more realistic. You get the warning that pops up, but look at that. It's keeping me nice and centered every time. Look at, I have not yet touched the blue line. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Wow. Love it. Here comes another one. Are we going to touch it? Nope. Woo! Man, this car is fast. Okay, let's see how we can do this at 70 miles an hour on a 40. Here goes autopilot. We're going way over the speed limit. How's it gonna handle it? It still keeps us in the lines. What? Oh my gosh, look at how good this is. Okay, we're gonna go like 60 around this. Let's see how autopilot handles it. It's warning me. Oh, we barely touched it. 23 over the speed limit. It still can handle it. What? Okay, here comes another sharp turn. Let's see what happens here. Hands on the steering wheel just in case. We're going 15 over the speed limit. Okay, well over what the car should be able to do it at. And look at that. It is perfect. I can feel the gravity of the car grabbing it. Look at these turns coming up here, guys. Let me go the speed limit here. This is all autopilot, you guys. Here we go. 80 miles an hour into a 40. Woo! Okay, I took over. I didn't want to trust that. That was freaking fun. Okay, before I get myself in trouble, let's get back on track here. Okay, putting it back in autopilot. By the way, there's nobody around me. Road work ahead. Road work begins now. Okay, here we go. So we're going to go here. Let's just go 5 over the speed limit. So here we are, just a normal, like normal person would drive. And here's a really sharp turn. Will we touch the blue line? No. Almost. Okay, almost there. But I was going over the speed limit too, right? Keep that in mind. Okay, and let's see. How about this one? Nice and center. Okay, guys, it is extremely obvious the car is being more aggressive, and here's why. Before, when I did the test on this road, everything was gradual. It was a gradual correction. Oh, here comes a turn lane here. Okay, handled that pretty well. Okay, on the last time we did this, it was a gradual correction. This is like gradual, and then when it sees that it's wrong, it doesn't just slowly go onto the line and comes back. It's actually aggressively correcting me back into the lane, which is something new. It's never done that before. Okay, here we go. 10 over the speed limit on this corner. Let's see how we do. Hand is on the wheel. Will it center us? And guys, here's the thing. If it can do it at a faster speed than the road and the map is set for, it can do it at regular autopilot speed too. It's just that's really freaking boring, and I don't want to do that. So here we are, 40 miles an hour. Okay, the speed limit sign's right there, 40 miles an hour. Let's see if we can hit 80 by the time we hit the 40. Nah, we got 73. You guys, if you don't own a Tesla yet, if you've never driven an electric car or a Tesla specifically, you don't understand the acceleration of this thing. I've had this thing now for 10,000 miles, and I still, every time I hit that accelerator, I'm like, and it looks like that's the last of the real sharp corners we have to mess with. But seriously, guys, each update nowadays is just getting better and better. Like, it's becoming fun to be a Tesla owner again. Not that I didn't like it before, but the updates were kind of lame, and I feel like they weren't really working. But they're working now, and Autopilot is great. It is working very well. All the new features and updates coming out are actually getting me excited again. And so you know what, guys? If you're on the fence of buying a Tesla, what are you waiting for? They're amazing. They're already worth the full self-drive package. All these new features coming out are all targeted to people who've paid for the full self-drive package. It's worth it. I love it. I have no regrets on it, and it's just a lot of fun. So this latest update, again, it added some good improvements for getting your car set up for your Autopilot, for Sentry Century mode. You know, it's got backgammon, which who flipping cares about that game? Why are you sitting in your car playing backgammon? We've got improvements to the toy box, improvements to the charging sites, and these things may seem a little bit minor. They are, but you know, it's interesting how Tesla doesn't talk about all the improvements they do to the other stuff, the internal stuff like Autopilot and all that. And this is like a massive thing, but that's why I go and do these things, you guys, is I take it out here to the same roads I tested on every time, because that's the only way we're gonna see real improvements, and there are real improvements. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I loved making it. See you on the next one.